Mic check, Friday check, sun check. Everything is good, my friends. We have passed 600 subscribers today. We are at, I think, 603 last I checked. The pirate ship is growing. Maybe one day it'll be a flotilla, which I think is like a parade or a series of ships all going at once. Maybe a military term, I'm not sure. Kind of all over the place. I'm just glad it's Friday. Welcome back, everyone. My name is Adrian Pocobelli, Artist Journal, February 10th, 2023. Improvising like there is no tomorrow. And it was great. I saw a movie with my friend Ben, who I've shown his work before. He paints the memes, if you remember. And actually, we were doing a little bit of an art trade. And but first, he was like, hey, do you want to go see Daniel Richter, which is a movie about this German painter. And so when I saw this work, it kind of reminded me of Daniel Richter. And we can look at Daniel Richter quickly. Kind of a famous, German contemporary painter. How about that? So that was cool. And it's too bad. He couldn't find his work. He's sure he has it somewhere, but it has the Kool-Aid guy bursting out of a wall. And I had to have that painting. Anyways. Welcome back. So I thought this was a pretty cool painting. I saw it on the super rare bot. And yeah, I mean, look at it. I mean, this seems to me, I would categorize this for the sake of, just helping us, understand what we're looking at here, which can be challenging with digital art. I would categorize this as like digital abstraction. And we'll look at the artist's name here in a second. And this is on super rare. And you can kind of see the spray here, and just different mark making. I thought it was just quite interesting, quite original, interesting color and all. So let's take a look. Birdman by lucianaguerraok. lucianaguerraok. And she is another artist based out of Argentina who creates unique digital and physical abstract art. And I just love this. This is one of my very favorite parts of this show and this scene is the internationalism, which, to me, it just makes it incredibly exciting. I sort of have this theory that, with pop music, the future of pop music is, I want to call it like world pop. And maybe this has already happened, and maybe this is a bridge too far for this conversation here. But all to say, this is just exciting to see countries from all over the world. Again, on the Twitter Spaces, we had Sri Lanka, a video artist showing a beautiful portrait of his dad in his fishing village doing the thing he does every day. Here we have Argentina. And a lot of the stars are from these countries too, like Bazaya, who's doing very well. And, you look at Ratcloxy out of Ukraine. You look at... who else? I mean, The Myth out of Argentina, I believe, and all over the place. And also North America, Europe, and everywhere. And Asia, and everything. So anyways, let's not get distracted here. Looks like a pretty young artist, who creates unique digital and physical abstract art. So anyways, congratulations on the sale, 0.8 ETH for that very original, interesting artwork. And look at this, too. So it's just very exciting and to see all of these just talents emerge with something to say, we could say visually here. And here is Luciana's profile here on Twitter. And it looks like there is an announcement here as well. So let's just actually quickly look at, let's look at the announcement and then let's look at Daniel Richter here. Super happy to announce that Secret Garden is part of the inaugural exhibition We Own the Night, curated by F Collective Art, global art gallery and community curated by Flannel Capital on Foundation. So congratulations to that too. So anyways, the opportunity is great. And there's Mikkel Nolson, one of the first two people that promote that was said on Twitter, you should do this program, Pocobelli, do more of this. There he is, retweeting. So isn't that awesome? Give him a like, and let's even give that a retweet there. So hilarious and great. And again, a testament to kind of like it's a pretty tightly knit community here of probably, as Rare was saying, maybe a few thousand people. You know, so that's super cool and exciting. Surprisingly small is also how I'd describe it. Let's very quickly look at Daniel Richter. So just so we are always grounding ourselves outside of our reference here. So we are not just simply self-referential here. Here's Daniel Richter. So there's a movie that just came out, and it was actually pretty interesting, I would say. And yeah, here are some of his paintings. Let me see if we can get, you know, you can kind of get a feel for it. So really nice brushwork. I mean, what you'd consider pretty, you know, contemporary art is pretty nice, though. I mean, nice exploration of texture and everything. You know, the thing that they describe in the movie, then we'll run through everything here, is how, I mean, every person they interviewed in the movie is, well, he made a big transition from going purely abstract to representational, because nobody knew really what to say about his work. So that was what everybody said. So it's pretty cool, though. I think it works, you know. And so anyways, cool movie out there. Big shout out to Elena Lazutina, who put out this awesome GIF yesterday, incorporating me into her work, or incorporating the show, at least, into the work. And with, I mean, here's self-referential, because her work, I'm discussing her work on the TV, and then that is in a bigger work of hers. Only possible in a weird way, in this way, let's put it in a moving way, through digital. GM, oh, very happy that my art got featured in Pocobelli Artist Journal number 130. Thank you. I love watching and discovering new artists. If you don't know what it is, I suggest you subscribe. So thanks for the shout out. That stuff helps. Like, it's very interesting the way the subscribers grow in fits and starts. It's not like a steady path, you know, so it's interesting. So thanks for the shout out. Much appreciated. And I'm glad you're happy. I'm happy that you're happy, Elena. And quick shout out also to Agor NFT for picking up a few works, as well as RuneTune and an anonymous wallet. So thank you for picking up these 8-bit nature works. Again, this went for on secondary for $632. So that is pretty cool and exciting. Next time I show this, I'm going to show the physicals, because it's actually pretty fun and kind of part of our ongoing conversation here. Just a couple of comments I wanted to mention from last show here. I thought this was because they were very nice. And remember, we were talking about Mikey Wilson's experience in prison and him making a work of art out of it. I mean, a correctional facility. I mean, it sounds, yeah. So anyways, Mikey Wilson turned his experience of confinement, that's a better word for it, and pain into art. And open-heartedness in the Tezos art community is an example of human potential and courage par excellence. Marky could, I think, be a speechwriter. That was a beautiful comment, and you know, so super nice comment that I wanted to highlight here. And a couple of others that were kind of funny too. Gogolitis, oh my God, I didn't see McKenna at first. I love that guy's mind, referencing Terrence McKenna. And Nico P, who made the work, love his ideas and his ways of putting words together, and so clean and concise, yet so poetic. It's best watched from afar, referring to the work. And also Jeremy Austin, shout out, February birthday kin, happy birthday AP, happy birthday Jeremy Austin, whenever your birthday is in February. Thank you for all the support. I've noticed all the comments and everything, much appreciated. Turning over to the QuakeAid. So we have a few more works, and I thought we could show them early here so that everybody sees them. Burka Bayram, who is, I believe, out of Turkey, actually, and he put out a work. He's been around, he's one of the old school kind of Tezos artists. TezQuakeAid, 100% of proceeds going to the Tezos Community Fund to support those affected by the recent earthquake in Turkey and Syria. So a beautiful work here. And of a, I guess this might be the logo of the work, because we're going to see this kind of heart that's kind of broken in another work here. So Burka Bayram, buy for 10, edition of 100. So here's a way you can support and get some art. There's only 21 left when I loaded this up. You see it's the same heart here. So I might be slow to see the, I guess it's become the symbol, or yeah, the icon of the quake. HoloHeart, this is by Gogolitis, and this is an edition of 100, buy for a Tezos 70. I'm deeply shaken by the recent tragedy that struck Turkey and Syria due to a devastating earthquake. And I mean, the images, as I was saying yesterday, I mean, again, heart-wrenching, harrowing. I mean, or, you know, you see them rescue. I think I saw there was a Ukrainian mom and her baby that was in Turkey that was, you know, you could see them basically being rescued out of like this little hole in the rubble. You know, so powerful, and they were the lucky ones. You know, after 3 days, they were rescued and survived. The news of innocent lives lost and massive property and belongings destroyed leaves a hole in my heart. And so 100% of the proceeds will go directly to the Tezos Community Fund to support those affected by the earthquake in Turkey and Syria. I pray for a quick recovery for the region, and my thoughts go out to everyone. So a nice gesture from Gogolitis and a pretty cool work. It's great to see Gogolitis back on the scene. Welcome back, Gogolitis. Yeah, you are definitely a nice, I almost want to say a fixture here on the Tezos scene. So great to see you again. And our Milk as well has a Turkey work, a work to support people from the earthquake who suffered from victims of the earthquake. We have all known each other for a long time through the monitor screen, but technology should help us. Before the trials of nature, people unite. I left the house, but it was my personal choice. The earthquake that happened in Turkey could not leave me indifferent. Funds from the sale of this token will be to support the people of Turkey. Edition of 20, buy for $8.50. Pretty cool work. There is a heart there, and there we can see the Turkish flag. Yeah, in classic sort of pixel art. Tired Pixels, number 52. And also Recetio. Help, all sales from the primary will be donated to quakeaid.tez to support those affected by the recent earthquakes in Turkey and Syria, accepting 9 highest offers on the 11th of February, and a really beautiful work here from Recetio. And a big shout out to Recetio. This one is moving, interestingly. So yeah, so there are a lot of ways you can help, and you can put a bid here. And I love this idea because digital art, other than time, it doesn't actually cost anything. So like what I've kind of, like the simple conclusion I've come from just like the last few days here, it seems like a brilliant way to crowdfund, you know, these open editions and digital art, because you really feel like you're getting something, but you're also giving something, and it's not costing the artist anything more than maybe an afternoon or whatever the case may be, right? So it kind of, you know, it's kind of interesting, isn't it? And here is Recetio's studio. And we love the studio shots here. And I have that exact same keyboard. My mom got it for me for Christmas. Shout out to Mom. I love the keyboard, Mom. And I might get the Magic Mouse. So yeah, that looks great. I'm very excited. We all have a similar setup out here, don't we? Turning to Alpha Centauri Kid. Now, Alpha Centauri Kid has done quite well. I only learned about them maybe while doing this show about 6 weeks ago. And I think I learned because I saw this work here, or variations of this work, as you're going to see. And then I was like, oh, it's going to Christie's. And anyways, we have some details here, which is, first of all, this is a physical, and it's based on digital. And we see how screen printing works so well. And kind of what I love about these works here, and I think we have different colors. What I love about it is it kind of achieves a Warhol-like effect while remaining completely independent, in a sense, of Warhol to a certain degree. Like doing the eyes different. It's a different, you know, feeling to the whole thing, but it uses like a similar, you know, process. One could argue, okay, we can change the color and whatever, but it really retains its own identity. It doesn't feel like derivative or overly derivative or whatever, however you want to put that. And look at how great these look. You know, so super attractive works. And I am a sucker for super attractive artworks. I mean, look at how great these look. So these went to Christie's here. So that is impressive. And look at this. I mean, estimate price realized $107,000. And I'm not exactly sure, so if it's for 4 or what the deal is, but look at how great they look. So anyways, big congrats to Alpha Centauri Kid. And there it is. Silkscreen on paper in 4 parts. Signed, titled, and numbered, 1 of 1, the Muse. So it looks like you get all 4, would be my guess. Born 1986. Big congrats to Alpha Centauri Kid. And there it is. So we're all having fun over here. Here's a very interesting work. I was kind of looking at the super rare bot I'm always trying to bring new artists in here because I don't want to present the same show and the same artists every time. Although I think it's important to revisit, and I like to revisit, certain artists, as you know, and they kind of come in and come out. I'm always trying to keep variation here. And so anyways, I found someone that I hadn't seen before, Art Juliev, Oblation, Revivere, oil painting. So how, unusual is this? And I'll turn on the sound in a second. But I just want to show you this. My animated in Revivere style oil painting, Oblation, 1 of 1 NFT. And it looks like it's based on an oil on canvas, which is fairly large, 2 meters by 1.65 meters, 2016. So taking an older painting, and then as you can see here, it looks like it's been turned into 3-dimensional space here and kind of like a 3D camera of sorts. I'll turn on the volume as well. Interesting audio, hey? Even a beat. So interesting. And I think this sold because I saw it. Just mysterious work here. Because I saw it on the super rare bot. 0.75. I mean, pretty reasonable, really. Pretty interesting. Now check these out. I was tempted to start with these. I mean, they're pretty, I don't know if outrageous is the word, but I mean, it's pretty edgy, quote unquote, painting here. Because I don't know if it's collage, I don't know if it's AI, but it really turned my head. And let me actually make it big. This is by graphika.png. Again, someone I don't think we've looked at before, but I actually find this quite interesting and fascinating, like really edgy. And so here's this car, and this seems to be flames, but all cut out. You gotta love the boldness here. And this is kind of like a rainbow, but not really, and just kind of cut out. And so anyway, I'm just really enjoying that here. And here's another one, GM. And this kind of gives us a bit of a clue. I would love to master painting nothing while having something there. Everyday zip. So maybe a clue. I would love to master painting nothing while having still something there, right? So maybe that kind of explains a little bit why and what we're seeing. And so anyways, just really fascinating artwork from graphika.png, who is both on super rare. They only had 1 work, so I thought I'd hold off, and they're also on Foundation. I don't think you can get either of these works, though, because I looked for them and I couldn't find them. Dan Control, speaking of Foundation, he has just put a new work on Foundation, 0.15 reserve for chairs, and I thought this was a pretty good looking work. So he continues, just kind of chugging along here, and again, challenging everybody along the way. So before we saw him stretch images, like I think even the cigarette, all the way to the side, so totally distorting it. And now he's doing another variation on it. And you gotta love the consistency of this kind of playfulness, right? And so now we have what looks like the vapor cigarette, appears to be, being now stretched along the side of the quote-unquote canvas here with some, classic gradient smoke coming out. And so anyways, twisted, is it smokable? This might have been burnt, okay? So another apologies out there. Yeah, and sometimes, if you meant to burn that and nobody to see, I guess it's out there, but let me know if you, have issues with that, and I'll let people know, or I don't know how that works. But anyways, sometimes it gets burned on the one that I'm looking at, and then a new edition comes out, but it's already loaded on my screen. Anyway, RJ, I picked this up actually. It was selling for 0.1. There was a tiny bidding war, but it went for 0.15. I managed to get it, and I'm just, as you know, a huge fan of RJ. This is on Foundation, 1 of 1 RJ. So there it is. We did it this morning, and Purple Computer. So congrats to RJ, beautiful work. TEZO PEPE from Kappa Sage. So kind of playing around a little bit here, aren't we? So yeah, I mean, instead of the green Pepe being the person, it's almost like the landscape and the machine gun. And then a little Murakami flower, and maybe, I don't know, I don't want to say that's Mikey Wilson there. And Drew and everything. And actually I got a message from Padrino who was saying that actually the person in the computer from yesterday's shot was in fact Mikey Wilson. So that was interesting. Shout out to Mikey Wilson, TEZO PEPE, and a cool work. Always surprising here. Let's just see what happened. I mean, did it sell out? Yes, 380, edition of 20, and going to a lot of familiar names here. So very cool. Continuing on, a new one from Adelia, edition of 30, called Grace, Accepting and Believing Everything That Happens is a Blessing. So don't wake me, I'm not dreaming, and I'm feeling the weekend coming. And here it is, and some nice animation, kind of her trademark, just putting things over the head. I really like, it's almost a augmented reality kind of thing that she does with these, you know, again, this looks like, you know, a window, like the close, you know, or expand window interface thing on top of the cat. Or maybe it's just a ball, or maybe it's just ambiguous, either way. I really like her work, as you know, and this looks like a nice postcard, nice little ladybug, and some texture here, which does seem to be a new development here for Adelia, which is to put some texture underneath. So I think, and speaking of texture, here's Daniel W. with an interesting work, Machines of Loving Grace. That sounds like a Robert Wilson. Is that Robert Wilson? Isn't he the guy, like, because Robert Wilson, of course, did Einstein on the Beach with Philip Glass. I could be wrong, but I thought he did a opera, quote unquote, called, or a, you know, some sort of show called Machines of Loving Grace. I could be wrong about that. Anyways, Madonna, the Virgin of the Lilies by Bouguereau, and that is being transformed into a black and white with some, actually some circuitry. And so the Madonna turned into a robot, and she has robot hands and a whole bunch of surveillance cameras, which I'm seeing everywhere now. And so actually pretty cool. And even that throne, which you see in Cimabue, Il Duccio, is it Il Duccio? And Giotto, those early Virgin and Child works. Flora Marquez with another one of one, and now it's on secondary for 200, so people are excited about the work to buy it. I mean, again, it's a pretty cheap way of getting original art here. Burr Sector, yeah, buys for 15 and up to 200. Why is it so hard to see the simplicity? So anyways, continues to be very interesting from Flora Marquez, and Antonio Loves also in the illustrations, another Angels, Saints, and Prophets, number 19. So more just, I just love the kind of mysteriousness of these works, and I think that's probably what a lot of the collectors, I imagine, like, taking these themes and just giving it a real edge, right? And these beautiful stars and just everything about it, even the weird high heel here. And you don't even know what's going on, and what are the angels doing here? Assumption, the Assumption of the Virgin Mary, maybe. So anyways, this is for 1777 on primary. There are a few left. Continuing on, a beautiful work by Santiago and Arlen Maltby, who I'm not sure if this is Hasdrubal Waffle or someone else. So the waffle situation continues here. I quite like the color situation here. This edition of this kind of light blue, the combination here, this one really gives a great feeling. So a beautiful collaboration here. I might have to pick this up. Another massive piece, 11,740 pixels by 10,000. From all Inkscape from GIMP and Stable Diffusion, buy for 10, edition of 20. So pretty cool. And you might remember that Arlen Maltby, I guess he I guess maybe it's not Hasdrubal Waffle, because here's a, maybe Arlen Maltby is they're a separate artist, because here they're collaborating. And this was a stunning, one of the highlights of the last couple of months in my universe. And I'm also a big fan of this one which I never picked up, but it's tempting to pick these both up. And so anyways, very cool work. And I lay using the Waffles Draw times San Diego painting app, created entirely by hand with the painting app Waffles Draw. So here we go, and this looks like flowers, and we're going to see some of her AI flowers that she's been working on. So anyways, I thought just a nice little sketch here. And edition of 25, available for 4 Tezos. Edmarola with an interesting frame here, purple bird. And so here it is, more interesting pixel art. One of a kind pixel art from Edmarola. Interesting frame too. And even that little stripe of orange, or whatever it is, rose, that goes in between the work and the frame. And anyways, beautiful. Looks like someone in nature, and a bird and a hat. So anyways, just continues to be very interesting. Purple bird. I wonder if he just takes it kind of just whatever, like he's sort of like Rauschenberg maybe, in the sense that you just, no plan. Just go in and start making stuff, and whatever comes out, comes out. I kind of get that impression with Ed Marola. So Stalomir, Enki, father of civilization. We were talking about Sumeria just the other day, and I think Enki is out of Sumerian civilization. We'll look at that in a second here. But kind of, you know, this is pretty interesting pixel art, isn't it? For a few reasons. First of all, it seems to be referencing ancient Mesopotamia, which kind of gives it a little edge that, you know, not typical pixel art, what you'd expect from your typical pixel art here. And then look at these gradients here, what I loosely call gradients, which turn into what look like almost like Sumerian writing or some sort of patterning, which really gives a nice, interesting effect. And even the sun. So again, kind of fusing the ancient, you know, Sumeria, Mesopotamia, with modern day, you know, digital pixel art. And also so that's like a hard juxtaposition, but also, you know, taking, I don't remember what I was going to say. Also, what was it? Anyway, I'll keep moving on here, but it's working on a few levels here. 0.55 ETH, Enki, Father of Civilization by Stalomir on Foundation. And it has come down in price. And maybe there's just actually a little bit, yeah. So no information on exactly where this is from. We'll look at this in a future time. We're going to look at a little bit more Mesopotamia and in a future episode when we have more time. Enki, Father of Civilization. So anyways, so some pretty sophisticated pixel art from Stalomir. Look, and Vincent Van Gogh picked up this one, prominent collector. I thought these were maybe AI pixel artworks that we were looking at originally. So I'm not sure though. So all pretty interesting. Yeah, Vincent Van Gogh has picked up a few of these. So getting Stalomir off to a great start there. And here's another one that appeared on Objekt, buy for 10. So again, kind of referencing these ancient, you know, civilizations here, seemingly, and kind of adding an alien kind of feel to it as well. Public garden. I mean, it reminds you of the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. There's no much plants on this part of world, but thanks to technology, we can adore beauty of nature in public gardens. Nice place to relax, have fun with friends, and breathe better quality air. So interesting, interesting. Back to the waffle. So a waffle. I feel like we'll have to come, this work may come in handy at some point. So here is a waffle by Captain's Gift Shop. Big shout out. Thanks again for the work from yesterday. And Pie Slice. So again, going in a kind of dessert Wayne Thiebaud direction. And I think my favorite part of these works, and we kind of saw it with, is it Galongwei or Gongwei that we looked at the other day, where part of the pixels are moving and part of it stays static in the background here. And that contrast, there's something really powerful about it. Anyway, Pie Slice, 1 of 1, sold for 10. Chocolate Chip Cookie, also sold for 10. And yeah, you see it again here. Super interesting. And the chocolate chips turning purple. And of course, a creme brulee. Your dessert menu is not complete without a creme brulee. And it looks like with a hallucinatory creme brulee here for you. Courtesy of Deluxe Paint 2 and GIMP. So very interesting. LB, as we move into Glitch here. And so here we have a Panasonic, a Edirol, and Title Maker 3000 rescanned from a CRT monitor and post-processed in Adobe Premiere. Wow. So edition of 25 still available for 2 Tezos. And here it seems to say danger with what looks like a robot dog, extreme hazard. Interesting. And a few more from TEZO, a Future Lamp 4. Let's see if we can play that. So more beautiful glitching. I love the side up here too in the top right corner. Let's see if we can get this working again. See that? Love that stuff. And on the side here, okay, we got a few, so we will play some more here. Black and white, so some cool experimentation here as well. And you got to applaud that because TEZO could just keep doing what he's doing, but he is experimenting. So that is super cool. Look at that edge. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful edge. And here too. So again, just lots to feast on with TEZO. Future Chair 7. And also Dr. Version. Big shout out to Dr. Version, who's given some retweets and whatnot. And here we go. Another kind of square in the middle, kind of abstract work playing with different textures, seemingly glitch from what I can tell. It's a GIF, 1620 by 1080. Obverse Dive by Dr. Version, edition of 7, available for 6 Tezos. There's still 4 left. And also Glitch David. So here we're using, it's funny to see the, we see similar kind of equipment, but not entirely. Here's Panasonic, couple of maybe video mixers and Pentax and VCR player and a CRT TV, which seems to be kind of standard to get some of these rich textures. So that is Glitched David, buy for 1 Tezos, edition of 10. And continuing on, another really beautiful digital collage by Porta Malmar. I did not pick this up. This is for 20 Tezos, still available. And I thought just a really kind of stunning work here. So just enjoying seeing what happens here. 1 of 1. And here's another collage here, this time by One Don't Knows. He just posted this on his Twitter, Memento Mori. And I wonder, I should know what that means, but I don't, so we will look that up. And an object kept as a reminder of the inevitability of death, such as a skull. Memento Mori, and here is your skull, here is time. So another beautiful work from One Don't Knows with its trademark kind of eyes just hanging out. Again, very rich work, and this is interesting too. Maybe replacing a moon or something with just a big hole. Again, trademark, and interesting kind of, you know, playing around here with the, you know, this curve stuff and more experimentation. So interesting from One Don't Knows. Sabato has a new work. Let's just see the write-up first, and then we'll look at the work. This evening, gather your thoughts in the Mind Garden, a secret hideaway in Giza, where the most cunning of game makers and sophists retreat to devise their stratagems. There are no chairs or shoes allowed in the Mind Garden. They corrupt human posture. Wi-Fi is fuzzy too. So, but the vibes are divine. So available for 6.9 Tezos. Let's see if any are left. Not on primary. At least you can get 1 for 15 from Sabato, but otherwise the first batch have gone. So let's look at this interesting, mysterious work here by Sabato. So this is, I think, a GIF. I mean, it's easy to forget. I mean, I think this is a GIF, and then you have videos and almost like seemingly videos, but also just GIF inside this old technology here. The Venus de Milo. So, I mean, pretty mysterious work, isn't it? And the puzzle piece, walls. I mean, how long is this GIF? The library. So I guess here we see the reference to the sophistry. Kind of, again, yeah, and then in the middle of space here, a portrait of the mind. And here, my friends, hopefully we can return. You can see my messy desktop here. There we go. We are back, and we cannot re-record this because we have too much to do here. So sorry for the glitches, guys. That is part of the object ethos out here, part of the Tezos ethos. We are doing it yourself. There's no producer. It is one person with a laptop and a phone and a microphone. So here we are. Sky Goodman with some AI fashion. So another cool work. AI kicks, pixel sorted. So more beautiful colors from Sky Goodman. So I assume this is part of their other series where we see the other kicks. And this, we've been seeing a lot of this AI fashion. I think Kika Nikolela also was doing work. Maybe we can quickly click on there. Yeah, so there's all sorts of AI fashion. I think it might have been AI Fashion Week or something. We just had Berlin Fashion Week a couple of weeks ago, so maybe it's related. CIF, it looks like AI Fashion Week 23, day 6, and that was a while ago. So anyways, it continues. Pretty rad is how I'd describe that. Some really nice works by Polly Jojo. I was quite excited by this. This beautiful, I mean, Starbucks. It's kind of back to, I would expect soon we're going to see that like AI infiltrate corporate design, because why wouldn't Starbucks do a design like this for at least a couple of months or something, or do a Christmas version? I mean, it's beautiful. So I think, anyways, beautiful work, Polly Jojo. Buy for 1, edition of 10, so 6 are left. So very nice still life here. And here's Kanabake, also by Polly Jojo. Buy for 3. And there is 1 left, and it's a 1 of 1. Oh my God. Okay, so anyways, that probably will disappear. Another beautiful still life. Marina Amadova, the Power of Support. So this is also for Tezos QuakeAid. So you can help support there. Really nice edge there too. Love this edge. And so a beautiful work here. And heartwarming work. Here's my contribution to TezQuakeAid, AI artist Marina Amadova, buy for 3, and there are 70 left, edition of 100. So you can support there too. And Ile, breaking news, here's a preview of my new object collection, Fluorescence, where I will explore everything flowers, listing starting at 1 Tezos. So we saw this work in the middle here, but we're going to take a closer look at the other works, which kind of have a bit of a vaguely Warhol feeling to them. So you can see them here. Interesting work here. So this is Hibiscus Glitch 2 AI Flower. So you wonder if the glitch was created by AI. So, because remember our definition of glitch that we were looking at, or that we were discussing in earlier Twitter Spaces, and there's kind of like this, subtle point that for it to be kind of traditionally, for it to be kind of proper glitch, it should be a technology that is disrupted, right? And then so the implication being that a modern day app that is a glitch app might not be what was traditionally considered glitch. But what if you're using AI and you use glitch in the prompt? And I wonder if that's what's being done here. Or maybe Ile is doing an AI flower and then using a glitch, technique of some kind. So the mystery deepens here. Hibiscus Glitch 2, pretty nice work, edition of 20 for 2. And Hibiscus Glitch 1, also a nice work here, AI flower, available for 1 and edition of 20 as well. Beautiful textures there. And continuing, just this still life I saw by Anacondo, and I assume this is AI, and I just thought it was another it just kind of turned my head there, so I thought I'd add it in. I didn't see it minted anywhere. And then Claudey Miami by Deez, who I think is a pretty prominent figure on Twitter there. A free claim for all GN Miami holders as of the snapshot. So anyways, playing with burn mechanics and what feels like, this kind of looks like Monet meets even a little bit of Seurat, but mostly Monet, of course. And I brought up, but I was looking for I'll show you what I found. I found this, but I was feeling this came from a different painting. But I guess Monet liked to use the woman with the sun umbrella, the sunbrella. Here you can see, a bit of a motif done over and over, really, by Monet. So anyways, I'm not sure of the exact reference, but maybe this was it. Continuing on, another one by Alina Lazutina, Tropical Morning, and this was really quite beautiful too. So I think she's generative and AI, if I'm not mistaken. So anyways, nice work. And one from Shilly the Kid. Shilly sent this to me, and I really like these textures here. And I almost want to see this work like head on, and I'm not sure, I assume the outside part is also AI, But I would love to see this work head on. And again, I'm tempted to think this is DALL-E that makes these kind of textures here, but I'm not positive about that. But anyways, beautiful AI textures. Isn't that interesting? And finally, Joe Goodwin sent this. And so this is interesting too. So it looks like, at first you think, okay, so this is just pictures of flowers that are turning. And this is on foundation for spring. But then you go to the process and you realize it's basically a video of a sculpture of sorts, process of creating 4 springs. So first you take some flowers, then he mounts it onto this, you know, device where the, with turning, you know, something for the flowers to sit on to turn, and even wires and everything are involved. So it's pretty elaborate to get to what we're looking at here. You can even hear the volume there. A synchronous motor. So anyways, so that's pretty cool. So you can get that on foundation. And I think the reserve is 0.1. Shout out to Joe Goodwin. Shout out to Joe Goodwin. And he's got some other works here too. So that is what's going on there, you know, if you didn't know. So anyways, pretty cool. Deadman also had this was burnt as well, but I quite liked it. This was just a close-up of a physical work of a Marlboro cigarette pack, and I thought it was actually quite beautiful. Pen drawing, Bouguereau felt tips, 1998. So I don't know if this is an old drawing, but I thought it looked great. Filter cigarettes. And finally, as we cruise into the weekend, Feels Good Man, a really nice PEPE by Walk, and you see how he's just making it look easy. Look at how great this all looks. He could paint anything with sprays. So anyways, the professor approves. He loves it. At auction for 25, 1 of 1. And that, my friends, is your show. Again, have a great weekend, and thank you for watching again. Until next time, take care.